Are we on?
Yeah.
Okay, here we are. Hi everyone, my name is Rita Bosworth. I'm the founder of the Sister District Project, and I'm here with the Sister District Board. We're very excited to be doing our first Facebook Live and hope that you guys are tuning in and hope we can answer some of your questions. So first of all, let me introduce the rest of the board. I'm Rita Bosworth, like I just said.
I'm Gabby Goldstein.
I'm Candace Mitchell.
And I'm Lala Wu.
And I'll first just talk briefly about how Sister District started. About a week after the election, I was still incredibly sad over the results, like many of you, I'm sure. And I just felt like I had to do something. And maybe I hadn't done enough in the past, and I had to do something. And so I had this idea, because I live in California, where we have so many progressive voters, and I personally live in a congressional district that is very blue. And frankly, my representative, when I call her, she already agrees with all of my suggestions for how she's going to vote, and she doesn't need necessarily more people canvassing or donating money. And I felt like there had to be a way for people like me who live in very blue areas to contribute volunteer resources and financial resources to races across the country where it really would make a difference for the Democratic or progressive candidate. And so I thought of the Sister District idea, and I built a website, and that is how the project was born. And the idea is to create an infrastructure and a way for people who are in either deep blue or deep red areas, by the way, if you're a Democrat living in a very, very red area, to join a team of people and be able to be directed to where you can volunteer, where you can donate your resources, where you can send money, where it will make a difference for candidates who are facing tough elections and races that are strategic for the Democrats. So that's the idea. And of course, we find ourselves in really a hostile electoral environment right now. The Democrats only have 6 trifecta states. Those are states where the Democrats control the governorship and both houses of the legislature, whereas the Republicans have 25 trifecta states. And of course, as we know, many, many states are very badly gerrymandered by Republicans, and this affects both control of the state legislatures and also control of the federal legislature, the House, because the state legislatures control redistricting and how many and which areas vote for representatives in the House. And so our goal here at Sister District is to change that. We want to get into state legislatures and change the balance of those legislatures, give the power back to the people, and we also want to take back the House. And so my board, we're going to talk about how we're going to do that. I'm very happy to have you with us, and I'm going to turn it over to Lala Wu.
So thanks so much, Rita, and that's what we're doing, and let me just talk a little bit about how we're going to do it and how it works. So the way Sister District works is that as an individual volunteer, you sign up on the website, and then very shortly thereafter, we will connect you with your local district team. Our organizing unit is the Congressional District. So here in San Francisco, I live in California 12, and we've got teams meeting on the ground already, and it's super, super exciting and wonderful. So, like I said, as a volunteer, you sign up, you join your local district team, and then in headquarters, we identify races for you to support, and these are official sister races, which Gabby will talk about in a minute. And then your district teams are led by volunteer district captains. We've got some amazing ones all across the country who are doing an incredible job organizing and bringing people together in their local communities. And then once you are assigned your sister races, we ask you to just get going. And so the types of volunteer activities we ask you to do are small donations to the campaigns, holding fundraisers to support the campaigns, phone banking either on your own or holding parties to do so. And if you live close enough that you can travel there, traveling to the community, meeting the people who are on the ground, meeting the people there in that sister race community, and knocking on doors, canvassing, tabling, all of that good, super fun stuff. So we're super excited, and we think that this is going to be really great. Thank you for your interest in being on board. In addition to our sister races, we are also really encouraging and hoping that our our local teams become year-long hubs of civic engagement. So in addition to our official sister races, we hope that you work to identify and look for other races, especially local races in your area that are really interesting and inspiring to you, whether that is a school board race or a sheriff's race or anything like that. And take what you've learned and take the infrastructure from the sister district and these local teams, and use that to influence more than just the sister race. So that's kind of a little bit about how it works.
So, go ahead. So I'll just tell you a little bit about how we think about political strategy here and what our plans are there. So first of all, we just finished our support of our first official sister race, which was Stephanie Hansen's race in Delaware. We had volunteers, sister district volunteers from New York and from other places in the region go to Delaware to canvass, to get out the vote. Along with Flippable, we raised $150,000 for Stephanie's race, and she won by a whopping 17%. In a race that was expected to go within just a couple of points. So we're really encouraged that our model works, and it was a really great test case for us. And now our plan is to replicate that in primarily state races in 2017, and then in state and federal races in 2018. So what do? Well, at headquarters, we will choose official sister races for our official support. We use a set of criteria in evaluating races around the winnability of the race, the strategic value of the race for Democrats, and the quality of the Democratic candidate. Once we select our slate of official races, then we coordinate directly with the campaigns of each sister race to understand exactly what the campaign needs to win. Every campaign's different, and it will require its own set of volunteer activities. So we will handle that coordination with the campaign and then feed that information out to our volunteers that are staffed to that particular sister race. And as Lala said, the sorts of things that our campaigns may ask would be if you're close enough to get out the vote, or canvass, or attend town hall or rally, other meetings that the candidate will be appearing at, holding fundraisers or small donations, and other sorts of activities. For instance, a campaign may ask for some opposition research or other sorts of research. So it'll really be a one-to-one tailoring of what the campaign needs and what our volunteers can provide to that campaign. So we will be announcing our first batch of official sister races in April, and then our second batch in June. So stay tuned to find out what your official sister race will be.
So I am Candace Mitchell again, and I am involved with information and finance in Sister District, and I just want to say hi to my friend Alicia, who just said hi to me. So I'm saying hi to her back. What's my goal here? What are we here to do? We're here to make sure that you guys can get involved, and get information about all the races that you're working in and connect with each other. So if you're looking to sign up and volunteer initially, we want you to go to our website, sisterdistrict.com, and click on the blue button that says Take Action. From there, you can click on and decide if you just want to be on a mailing list, or if you actually want to be a volunteer and connect with everyone else and start doing some good work in your communities. After that, we have some different forms of communication for you. We've got a Slack channel just for our district captains. Our district captains are those people who are tasked with coordinating with us, coordinating with the campaigns to make sure that everybody's on board and has all the same information and all the things that they need to know to make sure that everybody has a goal, a purpose, and knows what's going on. And then for our volunteers and our district captains, we have a password protected site that allows you to get information not only about the race that you might be working on, but get information about research that we've developed, research that we have other people getting and sending to us, and just make sure that everybody knows who they're working with and what's going on in their district. We even have calendars up there so people can check out the events that are going on around them. We just want to make sure that our system is set up so that everybody has a chance to find out what's really going on with each other and can communicate really effectively. We're always looking for new means to do that, so things may change in the near future. But hopefully right now what we've got is a good first start to making sure that we have the support system around you to get you the resources that you actually need. And I'm so excited to see how many different people are checking in from all their different districts. They're just all over the country, and we just love this.
Yes, you guys, this is energizing. It's really incredible, I have to say. It's really what keeps me going day to day as I read the headlines every morning and want to sink into the earth. So we have some questions. A question from Patrick is, how will Sister District coordinate with campaigns? I'll give that to Gabby.
Yeah, so I think I said a little bit about this, but so at headquarters, we'll be coordinating directly with the campaign managers and field managers in the campaigns that we support as official sister races. I will have a team. I'm building my team now of volunteers who will help me in this role and provide liaison volunteer services between headquarters and the various campaigns that we'll be supporting. And then we'll manage at the headquarters level the flow of that information from the campaign out to district captains and our volunteers. So it'll and so that's all in the official sister race capacity. So we're building this team now, and that hopefully that provides a little bit more insight. And as I said, there's a number. Every race is going to be different, and so the sorts of asks from campaign managers and from campaigns will differ from race to race. So we think it's really important for us at HQ to sort of manage that relationship and make sure that we're providing consistent information from headquarters out to our volunteers to make sure that you're getting the right information and the most current information and managing that process.
Okay, next question. What if I have an existing group of people who want to join and work together? Lola.
Awesome. We think that is so cool. I've heard of and been a part of a bunch of these groups that started after the election. People in their own communities getting together, their friends, their family, people who live in their neighborhood, and just getting together saying, hey, we need to do something. And that is so awesome. So we are so stoked that you've got your own team. And if your team is interested in taking on some sister district activities, we would love to have you. So we are working on some kind of group sign up thing right now. And so if you are interested in signing up your group with us, you can email me. I'm Lala, Lala.wu, W-U, @sisterdistrict.com. Just send me an email, and then we will get your group signed up.
Okay, this one is from Jim. All of New Jersey is up in November. Does Sister District work at the state and local level?
Why, yes, we do, Jim. We absolutely do. And so our races that we're supporting as official sister races in 2017 will primarily be at the state level. And in particular, Virginia is a big target for us, as well as Washington State and New Jersey. So there are a few assembly districts in New Jersey that we think are strategic and winnable with high quality candidates, and we're looking especially at those.
Okay, this one is from Susie. Will Sister District be supporting any of the 5 congressional races in 2017? Great question. We get it all the time. I'll answer that. So the way that our process works, as you've heard, is that we have a specific criteria, and so we only officially support races that fit our criteria. So we are keeping an eye on all 5 of these races. We're very aware of them. We do have some plans in place to support the Georgia 6 race should there be a Democratic candidate and should that go to a runoff election in June. We are keeping our eyes on all of these races, and if any of them look like they fit our criteria and would be competitive and winnable for the Democrats, then we would certainly move quickly to get into them. I mean, one of the frustrations that I think a lot of people feel is that people want to do something now, and we totally get that. We want to do as much as we can, but the reality is that we're not in election season just yet, and this is an off-election year, and so some of these things just require a little bit of patience. But I promise you, we are aware of these races, we are looking at them very closely, and as soon as we feel that they are worth getting into, you will know about it.
Yeah. And I'll also add just really quickly that we totally encourage you, if you've got a local team, that we've got some that just want to kind of practice, and get started and become familiar with what it is like to volunteer for a campaign. We absolutely support that. So that's super awesome. And if you kind of want some resources on that as well, reach out to us.
Yeah, definitely. We are not in the business of limiting your involvement. So absolutely, whatever you want to get involved in, you should do it. But we are somewhat constrained by resources and the number of people that we have, and we want to make sure we're only in enough races, the number of races that we feel we can move the needle on. But that does not mean that you can't get involved, or that you shouldn't get involved in anything that you want to.
Absolutely. And on that point, like Lala said, we want you to think of your sister district team as your home base for civic engagement, and that includes supporting whatever races move you. We will have some guidelines, however, around how you represent yourself when you're working on a non-official sister district race, which is totally fine, and the use of our name and those sorts of things. So those guidelines will be coming out for you soon, so you'll have a better understanding of how to conduct yourselves when you're working on those races.
Okay, this one is from Lana. I live far away from a swing district and I can't travel to one. Is there still something I can do? Candace?
Yes, absolutely. You can join Sister District. That was the whole reason why this whole project got started. It's people who are in districts where they otherwise feel like they can't do something right there but want to make an effect somewhere else. That's what we do. So from your district in Alaska, you can have an impact on a race in Washington State, California, anywhere we have a race that we're supporting. We're going to make sure that we take a look at all of our districts nationwide, figure out who is in which place that would best work for the race, also coordinate with the race themselves to figure out what they actually need, so that when we've got a race in Virginia, we're going to say, hey, all you guys around Virginia and the mid-Atlantic states, this is the time for us to get North Carolina, this is a time for us to get Maryland, this is a time for us to get Kentucky involved. You guys are close, you can go and do canvassing and things like that. But if we've got a candidate that we're working with and he's like, I just need some people to phone bank, well, perfect. We can get Alaska in to do phone banking. We can get Alaska in to do fundraising. Well, the beauty of this is because we coordinate with the campaigns, we know exactly what the campaigns want, we know where you guys are located, we know how many of you guys are all over the place, so we can say to the campaign, you need people who can show up and canvass? Well, perfect. We're going to set you up with the state that's closest to you with our enthusiastic group of volunteers there, and they'll be the people who can help you out. Our whole goal here is just to make it easier for you guys to do some of the stuff that you want to do, and then let you know where strategically it can make the most difference. We're not going to say, hey, let's just work on every race, because while every race could totally use our help, there are some races that just need just a little bit more help, and that little bit more help, if we can make it strategic and really pointed, then it could totally change the course of an election. And that's why we're here, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah, really, we want to give you the opportunities to contribute as much or as little as you can. And we just want to do all the work and then hand it to you and say, here you go, this is what they need. And then you can engage however you best feel that you can contribute. So hopefully we're making this easy for you. Okay, another question. Does Sister District align with any particular wing of the Democratic Party? That's an interesting question. And the answer is no. We are not affiliated with the Democrats. We are certainly willing to work with them. We would love to be a bridge to the Democratic Party. But our one and really only focus, we feel that we're kind of in an emergency situation right now, is to win more races, statewide, federally, and to get more blue people into our government, to make our government more representative of our population, quite frankly. We are willing to work with whoever is willing to work with us. And I did attend the Democratic winter meeting a couple of weekends ago, and I think that we made some good contacts, and I think that part of the issue is that the party doesn't really know about us or groups like us. I mean, there are hundreds of thousands of people involved in groups like ours, and Flippable, and Swing Left, and Resurgent Left, and Code Blue, and Adopt a State. So there are lots of groups like ours, which is wonderful, and there are a lot of people that feel like the Democratic Party is shutting them out, and so they are turning to groups like ours for ways to participate. And we feel like we're filling a void So we're not against working with the party. We're happy to work with them, but we also are not going to wait for them. And we are going to keep doing what we're doing because we feel that the party is kind of missing this right now. There are a lot of people that want to get involved and are motivated, and we hope that we're providing the avenue for people to do that. So no, the answer is no. We don't identify with any particular wing of the party. We just want to fix this, and we hope that the party accepts us and goes along with this because we hope we're all on the same side here. Okay, this question is from Cindy. How do you recommend coordinating with other Democratic groups in our sister district to make sure we're not duplicating efforts or overwhelming voters?
Okay, so I'll take this question. That's a great question. I think the best way to do it is just to be communicative. Always keep those open ears for people who have connections. If you feel proactive and want to reach out to your local Democratic Party, we absolutely encourage you to do that. We think it's a great education. I was with Rita in Atlanta, and it was amazing. It was really educational, really wonderful to meet all of these party officials, and a lot of them were super receptive to Sister District and our idea, and we hope that you get their same reception. So if you do decide to, reach out to your local or state Democratic parties, we think that's awesome. Make sure that you're coordinated, make sure they know about Sister District, and if there's somebody in your team that can help make that connection, that's awesome too. And if you have any tips to give or wisdom to share after you do it, or if you have any questions about it, absolutely just come reach out to us. Like Candace said, we've got an amazing Slack community of people, and also you can email us as well, but there's tons of resources. People are doing all kinds of things. And I guess, just since I have the mic, I'm just going to say really quickly that I've been so fortunate. I'm from Seattle, and I was up there. I got to meet one of our incredible district captains, Roz. I am here in California, in the Bay Area. We've met, our incredible district captains, Andrea and Grace and Rachel and Azra and Jen and Laura. And I mean, it's been incredible. And then when I was on the East Coast in Atlanta, Jennifer came down to meet us there. And Jacqueline came down to meet us in Atlanta, and
Mike in Virginia.
And I met Mike, and it was, it's been so, I can't tell you how awesome it is. I mean, you guys are why we continue to do what we do. So please keep doing it. Thank you so much. I really hope to meet, and we all do hope to meet so many of you more.
And then just as a follow-up to that same question, lots of you are members of different other groups that are happening right now. You have your local, Pantsuit Nation, there are all these other groups that people are a part of. We are totally fine with everybody coordinating and working together that way. We've got a number of volunteers in Sister District who are cross-working with other groups. Share information with them to make sure that you guys, you're talking about as far as not overusing resources and making sure you make tactical decisions. We're very happy to have our district captains and our volunteers work with other groups so that when we make ideas about this is how we're going to work with this campaign, share that information with other groups, because the more the merrier. Everybody working together with a same common goal is how change actually happens. And so we are not trying to discourage any of the other newly formed groups from working together. And we do work together with a number of them.
And, our friend Andy Kim at Rise, which is a wonderful organization, he has a motto, which I wholeheartedly agree with, which is no ego, no turf. We are not the typical political party. We are people that feel like this is an emergency situation, as I said earlier, and we have got to get change, and we've got to change things as fast as possible. And so whether it's us or a different group that is the instrumental catalyst in making this happen, we don't care. We just want to be a part of it, and we want to facilitate the way for everybody else to get involved. So please, please, please talk to Indivisible, talk to Pantsuit Nation, talk to Together We Will, talk to all of these groups. Figure out how you can work together. Figure out how you can do your sister district project during election season, but also have other projects during the off seasons. That is absolutely the goal and what would make us happiest to come out of this project. It's really, we'd like to see increased civic engagement all year long and for the rest of your lives, because as we know, if that doesn't happen, then we end up with a Donald Trump in the White House, and that's unacceptable. And so everybody, let's just do this. And we're going to be doing it today and tomorrow and next year and in 10 years and for the rest of our lives. We have to. We have no choice. So please talk to each other. Let your egos go. work together and let's do this.
And it looks like we had one question that came in about campaign finance and our situation and how we're organized. And so we're in the process of becoming a nonprofit and becoming a PAC. We're likely not going to be working to have donations come directly to us that we then disperse to all the candidates. That's not going to be our main focus. We will work together with candidates to try and get funding for them and work through different situations to make sure that they do have funding and help out with any campaign fundraising. But we're not trying to become one of those really awesome super PACs that make horrible commercials and then you just see their name at the bottom of the commercial. That's not our goal. Our goal is to do all the different forms of direct outreach that we can. And we're going to do it from a nonprofit standpoint, and we're going to try and help out in any different way that we possibly can.
And we will be beginning to fundraise soon for operational expenses, because it turns out doing all of this is not free. But yeah, as Candace says, we don't expect to be collecting money to give the candidates. It does cost some amount of money for this organization to run, and because we do hope to get increasingly involved, we're going to be in, I think, about 20 races in 2017, but in 2018, I would really like to be involved in 150 races. I know Gabby is cringing, but I really would like to be involved in that many races next year. But that's going to require personnel and some funding. And so stay tuned. We will certainly let you know when we are accepting donations, but it will be just for operational expenses. We will be a nonprofit, and we would, of course, appreciate the support.
Yeah. And I will also, just to tag on to Rita's earlier point, I just wanted to let you know I just wanted to let you know that we are really on leadership level. We are all really working together. So a lot of these other groups that Rita mentioned, we all talk to each other, know each other, are friends, and consider ourselves allies. And I hopefully we try to make that clear to our volunteers as well. We think it's so important that we are all talking to each other and staying coordinated. So,
and you can see the people that we are working with on our website under the Allies page. And we talk to them almost every day, the leaders of those groups. And so, like I said, no ego, no turf, and let 1,000 flowers grow. Those are two foundations of our project. I think we had one more question, which was about training.
Sure, and I'm happy to talk about that. We are working up our training program right now, so there will be different kinds of topics for training for those new to campaign volunteering. We'll have some kind of intro crash courses, sort of what is it like to volunteer for a campaign, so that you can kind of be a little bit prepared before you get down there. These will probably largely come in the form of either webinar or kind of telephone conferences that you can call into live and ask questions, but then also access later. We are also working on, we've sort of been making some connections with great in-person trainers and trying to see if we can have opportunities for that as well. So stay tuned.
Okay, everybody, we have taken up enough of your time. I, again, want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for joining Sister District. I never would have imagined I was doing this 5 months ago. It has been the ride of my life. In fact, we were just saying today we can't believe it's been less than 5 months, because it seems like we've been doing this for a long time. But you know, buckle your seatbelts, because this is going to be a 2 to 4 to 6 to 8 year game, and we need all of you, and we need you the whole time. So have a wonderful rest of your day. Keep being wonderful activists. Reach out to us if you have questions, and we will be in touch.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.